Hello all and welcome to my TED Talk. My name is Gertrude Bayahine, and in today's video I'll be talking about the Industrial Revolution that took place in Europe. Okay, so this happened roughly between 1760 and 1840. It started in Europe, mainly England and the United Kingdom, but of course it started to spread throughout the world. So what was the Industrial Revolution? Well, the Industrial Revolution was an increase in production brought about by the use of machines and characterized by the use of new energy sources. So prior to the Industrial Revolution, before the Industrial Revolution, life was very hard. People traveled by cattle, horse. Education was not that important to them. Many people worked in agriculture. Many people worked on the farms. The women stayed at home doing, the kitchen life, and then the men went to work, but mainly on farms. They did not rely too much on machineries and factories to get by or for the daily uses of machinery. Why did it start in England? Well, there's many factors, starting with natural resources. Great Britain had plenty resources. It was a great location, great weather, not too hot, not too cold, good enough to grow crops. There was expansion of farmland, so there was enough land to actually have farmland to grow produce and cash crops. Increase in food supply due to the increase in farmland. Of course, there's more food for the people to eat. The population grew due to life being great. Of course, people weren't dying of diseases as much. The population just started to grow. Britain had money to invest in machines for factories. Britain had enough money to invest in machines for the people to use, so they had, they had that advantage. Great Britain had a vast colonial empire. That means they were imperializing all over the world. So they owned lots of land. And another factor was the use of coal. Coal was very cheap to find, and they used coal to fuel their islands for the trains. And coal was just one of the advantages they had over many other countries, and it was cheap too. During this time, there was many great inventions that made life so much easier for the people. Yes, starting with the steam engine, which was used heat to perform mechanical uses of work. Then went into the spinning jenny, which was used for threading. The cotton gin, which separated cotton from the seeds, which made life so much easier. The flying shuttle, which was used to weave fabrics together. I think one of the most greatest new inventions they created was the railroad tracks, which caused them to build trains, and it made transportation so much easier to go to work, to get to school, to go to so many places. It gave manufacturers a cheap way to transport their products. So the railroad system really, really improved the lives of many Europeans. There are also many important people, starting with George Stephenson, who developed the first steam engine. Richard Arkwright, who invented the water frame. Samuel Morse, who invented the telegraph. Eli Whitney, who invented the cotton gin. And James Watt, who invented the first reliable steam engine. Yes. So, how did the Industrial Revolution improve Europe? Well, it had many positive effects, starting with the power of machinery and factories, which provided so many jobs opportunities for the people. Due to the new machinery, increased production speed. So due to all the new things they're creating, it made things were being made at such a faster rate, and which made there more of items to use. It gave people the ability to transport raw materials. And the Industrial Revolution brought about urbanization. So through the Industrial Revolution, people got rid of their horses, rid of the farmland, and they started going to factories and machinery. So which made the world more modern and urbanized, throwing out the agriculture way of life. But there were some negative effects. Due to urbanization, it caused overcrowding in the cities, which caused many health problems. Of course, pollution started. Living conditions were a little bit unsanitary. It was very dirty, which made many people fall sick. Working in factories was also very dangerous. They worked long, tedious hours. They got low wages of pay, so which was not the best, and it was pretty dangerous. But overall, industrialization helped life in Europe. It raised the standard of living since new materials were being produced and available for public use. Made life easier for the people, and work smarter, not harder. So yes, it actually did increase this way of living for the Europeans. How did this improve the economy? Well, the Industrial Revolution transformed economies that have been based on agriculture into economies based on large-scale industries, manufacturers, and factories. New machines, new powers, all of that, it kind of helped the economy boom, It was bringing more money, more trading, and more materials they had. So it actually had a great effect on the economy, of course, due to the new factories. They were getting more money, and it helped the economy rise. So, how has this event shaped the world today? Well, thanks to the Industrial Revolution, it brought so many new technologies into the world, made the world much more modernized. It started there, and then it went on to North America, Belgium, India, China. So it really did have many effects, not just on Europe, but all across the world as well. Increase in population, which came along with increase of living standards, the depletion of natural resources, help create the foundation of modern society and wealth. Things of that is probably the reason why we have trains and cars. Who knows? Not only did the Industrial Revolution revolutionize the world, it made it a whole lot more efficient. Factories came about. Can you imagine a world without factories? I know I can't. Anyway, my name is Gertrude Bynum, and thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.